Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dave Ausdauer. Tonight, I'd like to discuss the historical applications and modern uses of spin control. Some of the things that we will cover in tonight's presentation are the definition of spin control, the history of spin, its various applications throughout the centuries, modern forms of spin, as well as the different scenarios in which it has been used in recent history. Then we'll review what we covered and take some questions. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines spin control as the act or practice of attempting to manipulate the way an event is interpreted by others. Spin has been used throughout human history. Some of the historical applications of spin in public relations include Thucydides in 431 BCE, Pontius Pilate during the Roman Empire, specifically the years of 26 to 36 AD, the English crown in the 1500s, Thomas Paine during the founding of America in 1776, Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War in 1863, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1941 when he went before Congress to declare war against Germany. Thucydides was a Greek general who fought on the side of Athens against Sparta. As a result of defeat he suffered during one of the battles, he was exiled by his government. He then turned to write the book, The History of the Peloponnesian War, in which he provided an objective point of view of the war. As he interacted with people from both sides to gather material for the book, he took the opportunity to advocate his newfound anti-war mantra. Pontius Pilate was the right-hand man of Emperor Augustus, and as such, he exerted great influence over the military, society, the law, and economics. The English crown, during the 1500s, when the printing press was invented, decided to go about implementing some censorship by dictating that books and literature that was released to the public had to go through them to determine whether it was allowed to be published or could not be published. Thomas Paine, Abraham Lincoln, and Franklin Roosevelt used spin in more of an inspirational manner in which to inspire their countrymen to rally behind their causes. In modern times, present day, we now have what's known as the 24-hour media via the internet, which allows for the real-time updates on news throughout the world. High-tech developments allowed reporters, authors, and politicians to generate press releases with newfound speed. These developments have led to politicians becoming more polished communicators. Ronald Reagan, for example, is regarded as one of the great communicators for his ability to handle the press. In modern applications of spin control, Winston Churchill and Franklin Roosevelt both suffered from physical ailments, medical ailments, which, if known by the public eye, would have hurt their careers in politics. Winston Churchill, for example, suffered a stroke that was very debilitating for weeks, in which a friend of his, who was a member of the press, doctored reports and made sure that this news never reached the public. Franklin Roosevelt was someone who couldn't walk on his own. He needed help via wheelchair, crutches, and other things. The press, fortunately, did not release that information to the public, therefore making him look strong, able, and the commander-in-chief that he was. Bill Clinton brought in to the White House after he was elected to the presidency his communications chief, Stephanopoulos, who was known as the White House spin machine, for his ability to provide the perception of events that favored Clinton and do damage control when things went wrong. Johnson & Johnson experienced a crisis during the Tylenol issue in the early 1980s. However, they took the positive approach of disclosing things to the public and sharing with reporters the events and their actions. This enabled the press to reflect Tylenol in a responsible manner, thus enabling them to earn the forgiveness of the public. Exxon, however, took a different approach. After the Valdez spilled oil into the ocean, executives decided they were not going to entertain the press, they weren't going to answer questions, and they basically avoided the public. This caused a lot of scrutiny, and even though Exxon later hired consultants to handle public relations over 4 years later, to this day, the Valdez is known as a great disaster that could have been handled much better. In review, there's always been uses for spin control, and it's not just limited to politics. It's also used in business, by writers, and governments around the world. Modern technology provides for 24-hour media. This 24-hour press has advanced spin into an art, thus developing a new profession in which people study and develop their craft to become experts. Enough people have engaged in this with the media everywhere that it's become an entire industry. Thank you for your attention. I will take questions now. Thank you.